as you may know already, or as you may not know, I run the blog Reviews of a Shameless Fangirl, which you can find online at yafangirlreviews.blogspot.com. And I'm here today to talk to you about another book that I love. It's a series that I actually probably would not have normally found myself reading, just based on the description of it. It's science fiction, which hasn't always drawn me in. That has now changed because I found that I actually kind of like science fiction sometimes. In this case, I really liked it. So, what book we're talking about today is the first in the series. I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore. It's book 1 of the Lorien Legacies series. I also have book 2 here, but I'll get to that later on. So actually, I got into this book from the motion picture, which you can see the poster for on the front of this edition. I saw the trailer and I really wanted to see the movie. So I did go and see the movie with a friend and found that I actually liked it. I know it didn't do super well, which is kind of annoying because I really would have liked to see a sequel and a third one and a fourth one to go along with all the books that are in this series, but doesn't look like that's going to happen, unfortunately. Maybe a TV show in the future. I'm just saying that might be a good idea. Space Channel, think about it, maybe. So I Am Number 4. I saw the movie. I loved it. The idea of aliens among us, I mean, it's not necessarily unique, but I liked how they were essentially human. They looked like us, they talked like us, they just had different abilities than us. They could run faster, jump higher, things like that. And that had all to do with the atmosphere of their planet and things like that. And I thought that was really neat. Essentially, for those of you who may not have read the book or haven't heard of it, the idea of the story is about these alien children from the planet Lorien that were sent to Earth. There were 9 of them that were rescued when their planet was being attacked and sent to Earth to essentially save their species and eventually go back and reclaim their planet from the people who attacked them. 3 have already been killed, and the story is about number 4 because they have to be killed in order, so he knows that he's next. So the story starts from his point of view. Number 3 gets killed right away, right off the bat, and number 4 can feel it. Every time one of them gets killed, he gets a new scar on his leg in the shape of their pendant so that he knows that another one of them is gone. So that causes him to have to move again and assume a new identity. So number 4 becomes John Smith. Yes, actually John Smith. And starts to go to a new school and things like that. And it's sort of interesting to see that he has trouble fitting in too. He has all of these abilities, but he's basically just a normal teenage kid who has crushes and bullies and concerns and anxieties and things like that. One of my favorite characters is a boy that he meets called Sam, who ends up becoming his best friend and one of the trusted people who figures out his secret, that he's not quite human, let's say, and knows that there's something up with him. And it's nice to see the way that their friendship develops and how important Sam becomes to 4 or John in the story. Another thing I really liked about it was how it really explained everything that I had questions about after leaving the movie. I had really actually liked the movie. I hadn't read the book at the time that I saw it, so when I found out it was a book, because I actually didn't know when I saw the movie that it was a book, I went and got a copy of the book and started reading it. And as I read through, I realized it was answering every question I'd had when I see the movie about Lorien. What sort of planet was it? What was it like there? Why were they being attacked? What could the people do? Um, Things like that. And there's a lot more detail in it, which of course there almost always is in a book. And usually I'm going the other way around. So I read the book and then I see the movie and I'm going, what the heck? Where's all the extra detail? That was important. In this case, it was kind of nice because I saw the movie, I liked the story, and then I read the book, which was basically like bonus features. The story I already loved was there, and they just added everything else that I wanted to know, and it was the perfect story. So I finished it pretty quickly. Probably in about a week that I finished the book, and by the time I was done, I was kind of freaking out because the second book that I talked about that I now have, The Power of Six, was not out yet. So I didn't know what happened next. But the great thing about this series, if you do start it, is that in between each major book release, there was a novella released. So, potential spoiler alert, there are other numbers, which you should probably know if you're any good at math. He's number 4, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that he knows about, but he's never actually met them. They were separated when they came here, and he hasn't seen them since. But what you do find out in the novellas that kind of fill in the spaces in between about these other characters, where they are, what sort of life they're living, how they ended up there, and things like that. So it's kind of nice. Spoiler, sorry. In this book, you do get to meet another number, 6, and the next novella after this is the Six's legacy, I believe. So it's the story of Six and what she's been doing, where she was, who her guardian is, and things like that. So it's kind of neat because you have your main character, but as you go on in the series, they start introducing the other numbers and you learn about their lives, and all of them kind of come together and work together. And it's great. There's now 4, I think, main books in the series. There is I Am Number 4, Power of 6, The Rise of 9, and The Fall of 5, I think is the most recent one that just came out. And like I said, in between there's a bunch of other novellas. 6's Legacy, 9's Legacy, Search for Sam, and there's another one that I can't remember. But I think I know that when I went to the bookstore to get The Rise of 9, they did have like a compilation available of all the novellas that had already been released by the time the third book was released. So if you do want to read those, I think you can get one whole copy now, which is great. And yeah, so I Am Number 4. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. There's a lot of great, funny quotes in there, a lot of relatable scenarios and characters and things like that. It is a bit of an emotional roller coaster as you go through. You kind of get to know these characters and why they are the way they are, who's in their life, who's they lost, things that they've missed. I mean, 4, for example, was torn from his home planet, from his parents and his grandparents, and sent to Earth at 4 or 5 years old with a stranger, his guardian, but not his family. And he's had to completely adjust to a new world, a new culture, a new person, and he's been living his entire life on the run. So it's kind of interesting to get into that mindset and to see the things that he's had to deal with, the things that frustrate him, the things he misses out on living on the run like that. Overall, it's just a really great story. Even if you're not a huge science fiction fan, like I said earlier, I didn't think that I was. I think the book does have a little bit of something for everyone. I mean, in other ways, if you take out the science fiction, it's your typical young adult story. I mean, it's a coming of age, finding yourself. There's certainly romance in there, friendship, family binds. Like I said, 4 out of 5 is one of my higher ratings. Not my highest. It's the same rating that I gave to City of Bones in my previous vlog, and I stand by it. I do have a soft spot for series because I like when things don't end. I like to keep reading and find out more about the characters and the stories and the worlds. And then I get really depressed when I get to the end of it and there's no more to read, or in the case of movies, no more to watch. Yeah, that's a sad day. But as for the I Am Number Four, if you haven't read it yet, do it. I don't think you'll regret it. Everyone that I've recommended it to and that has read it really actually liked it, and they sort of became as into it as I was, and would call me up and we'd have discussions about the characters or what happened and what they thought. And I haven't had anyone come back to me to say, why the hell did you recommend that book to me? So definitely read it. Like I said, I Am Number Four. This is not really the book cover I think that you'll find in stores. It's probably going to look a lot more like this one, but orange. And it'll say I Am Number Four on it. I don't even know if they have it in hardcover anymore, which this one is, if you can't see inside. I am going to share one of the things when I opened the book that really kind of freaked me out in a way, but also I thought was really, really neat. The author writes, just in the beginning, the events in this book are real. Names and places have been changed to protect the Lorien Six, who remain in hiding. Take this as your first warning. Other civilizations do exist, and some of them seek to destroy you. That freaked me out. Even though I know it's a work of fiction, it was really kind of earth-shattering, because it makes you really think about what else is out there, and maybe Lorien's not real, but we have no idea what's out there or what these other civilizations that could be out there may be capable of. So it was definitely neat. The book's really cool. It says Lorien Legacies right on the side, which is kind of neat, and this one says it too. So if you don't recognize the cover, you can definitely take a look at the side. If you're not sure if it's it, it'll tell you. So yeah, and that's, again, I Am Number Four by Pittacus Lore. And if you want to read my written review, which would have some of my favorite quotes and things like that, as well as some more character opinions on there, you can check it out. Again, that's at yafangirlreview.blogspot.com. Thanks for tuning in, and happy reading.